the most active community in India, KodeinKGP. Request everybody, I mean, especially youngsters in college, in school, please, like, mingle, join together, converge together, and do stuff like this. You spark curiosity and make people happen for on intelligent things, meaningful things. That's the most special part.
The way you kept it so casual yet so fun was remarkable. I mean, this is just the first time even I have been to a podcast, and
I remember Suraj telling me that this was his first time and he's equally anxious. I was like, कुछ नहीं होगा, मेरा भी first time है.
Exactly. इतना comfortable feel किया. Truly, it is all because how enjoying and good going you really kept in.
Hello, hi, namaste, and welcome to this brand new podcast, shot in the beautiful and vibrant IIT KGP campus. And I have with me today two really amazing people with whom we are going to have an engrossing discussion today about the new age technology buzzword, which is metaverse. Okay, अब ये क्या है, क्यों है, कैसे है, ये देखने के लिए आपको देखते रहना पड़ेगा. And we'll also talk about Swadeshi Bytes. Again, देखते रहिए, जानने के लिए. So, okay, wait, I didn't introduce myself. So, I'm Twinkle Chatterjee, currently a GRF at IIT Kharagpur from the Department of Computer Science. And if you're new here, I make videos on tech, shoot vlogs, and do podcasts. Please subscribe kar dena. Okay, so now coming to my lovely guest, we have with us Mr. Manoranjan Manish, who is the founder of Sane Observer Metaverse Private Limited, COO of Viacom India LLP, and has worked at tech giant companies like Flipkart. Welcome to this podcast, sir.
Hi.
And representing the student community, we have with us Mr. Suraj Gupta, pre-final year student, founder of KodeinKGP, the Web 3.0 Society of IIT Kharagpur, and also the Hall President of Vidyasagar Hall of Residence. Hello, Suraj.
Hello.
Okay, a warm welcome to both of you. Okay, so like I mentioned in my intro, Swadeshi Bytes. Now it sounds like an Indian origin something, but it is actually something humongous. It is the Digital India Festival, which aims at taking the initiative of transforming digital India, promoting digital literacy across the nation, and improving the digital ecosystem. Now, the founder of an emerging tech startup, Sane Observer Manoranjan, says and believes that this is more than just a talk, this is a movement. Okay, so now I would come to me pausing for a while and letting my guests talk. So, Manoranjan, please let us know what Swadeshi Bytes is, how and why it started, and like we would like to hear from you directly.
Okay, so this is a festival to accelerate digital proficiency in this belt, actually intended for the whole of India. We are taking up a modular approach. We go state by state. We are at a point which is at like inflection point. Say, for example, this is the repeat of 1980s, 1984 chiefly. So by the time when personal computers came in for the first time, people had different kinds of opinions. Those who understood that this through this box you can write a new destiny, you can write softwares, you can write media, you can write programs, you can change the way work order and the world functions. So those who adopted the personal computer first today are at the top. Those who took their time, those who delayed as much, lie as much lower, and those who are yet to adopt are the ones who are at the bottom. The history is repeating itself. Digital transformation is real. You work around digital assets, everything. So you have to upgrade. To foster this, this festival is all about this. So
Yeah, like since KodeinKGP focuses not only on the tech but on the metaverse, blockchain fields as well, I think Sir's vision to incorporate metaverse, that is a tech a tech revolt throughout India, is something that we want to propagate as well.
Right. So I would now move on to my next question, which is a week back, we witnessed a full house at Bhatnagar Auditorium, which is the same place where we are today, in the campus at the launch of Swadeshi Bytes. So, Manoranjan, what was the feeling like? How successful was the event? Fill us in with all the details.
It was very lovely. I mean, for the one of the first time, say for founders like us, the chief problem is translating our thoughts and
Exactly.
being in an audience where we can resonate. You have to cater to requirements and you have to be ready for 2027. These are campuses where you do have intellects. So it was, for me, it was like one of the first times when I am talking and people are getting it.
And yeah, adding on to that, it was indeed really an awesome and a huge session actually. I mean, there were more than hundreds of students who willingly took part, and not only that, there was constant interaction between Manoranjan sir and the students, and they answered with their opinions a lot. And I think it was more than an hour, but then still the continuous curiosity that the students constantly had within them was really enlightening for me as well. And that's the reason I think continuing this continuing this movement would be a great opportunity for us and the students overall as well.
Right? Okay. So now, after a fun-filled discussion, I guess we can move to some interesting segment. Like if you have watched any of my podcasts, you would know there is a segment called the rapid fire. So like today we have a student who knows the youngsters' perspective and the founder of a budding startup who knows the pulse of the changing Indian mindset. So it will be interesting to like put forward some questions, some engrossing questions to the both of you. There's no correct or wrong answers, just like which one would you choose kind of a thing. So I'll quickly move on to the questions. Format बहुत simple है. एक question होगा, once to you, and then you have to just give your opinion. Be as short as possible, right? So my first question is, in one line, what is metaverse to you?
The next generation digital space.
Okay.
A virtual world where you can do anything.
Okay. Okay. My second question, which do you think is more relevant in 2023? Using automation to quicken up tasks to satisfy deadlines, or doing every task from scratch to learn the fundamentals properly and building bigger and better products?
The second makes more sense.
Slow and steady.
Yes, but in practical environments, it's always a mix of it.
Makes sense.
I mean, as in more and more people get into actually, improving and learning, it always becomes faster.
Cool. Okay. My third question is noticing the aggravating rate of advancement in technology, especially in India. Do you think schools should include more project based coding? If yes, from which standard?
The schools are way behind, way behind. I mean, you don't have equipped teachers. Rather, it's the other way around. A kid when born, like I have a 15-month-old son. He's like more. He knows when how to skip YouTube ads. He can't speak, but he can. So, like, it's my very personal opinion that it should start with class 3 or 4. By the time when they where my books are kept, so machine interface should start. I mean, this is my very personal opinion.
Yeah, being a student myself, I think uh, definitely, like, according to my experience, I learned HTML, CSS back in 12th, so late. And but now here I realize there's such a huge scope for web development. And thus, I think learning all these core skills such as web development or beat coding. When I say coding, it's more of taking a theoretical problem statement and converting into a logic. These should be started being taught way earlier in our school itself.
For example, what is the right age to learn to use a screwdriver? What is a right age to know how knife works, how scissor works?
Somewhere I feel things have begun actually. Like in my school itself, honestly, I recently went to my school in Mumbai, and there was a separate course on actually how you deal with circuits and
Yeah.
how do you use various mechanical instruments. I was really impressed looking at to that, and I would actually love if that is spread everywhere.
Hmm. Makes sense. The reason why I specifically focused on project based coding is because I was from ICC board, so we had computer all throughout, like from senior classes, I guess. And then we were always asked to like almost mug up these algorithms, sorting algorithms,
That's all.
like, and just fill pages. But we could never really visualize what is happening or connect those algorithms or things taught in our books to real life cases. So that is why I wanted like kids, because if you're in class 10, 12, you have a very sharp brain, you have a very, उसको क्या बोलते हैं कि दिमाग चल रहा
Agility
है,
to learn.
Chunt.
agility is the word.
Hmm.
So you feel the need to like learn every new thing every single day, so you should not waste those years is what I feel. So moving on to my fourth question, quoting from Financial Express. Now boat has hosted a K-pop metaverse concert which is called Floatverse concert on Loka, which is a gamified replica of the actual Connaught place in a virtual world. So, do you think Indians would love to adapt to this change, experiencing virtual reality and similar stuff? Or do you think we would stick to our age old vibe of attending a in person concert all decked up in like party wear, chilling with friends
Indians
physically?
can take to anything and Indians take to anything. India is always a mixed economy. You never had like communism or socialist or private or capital. It was always a mixed economy. Indians are like,
Diversity is the word for us.
yeah, I mean, so many people, so many things, you take everything.
Even me, I think I can relate metaverse to a game. You see how quickly gaming spread across entire India. People were gaming like anything. Metaverse is no less awesome than that. It's like equally. Somewhere we might face some issue in accessibility, in actually purchasing or using it, but once it becomes feasible, it's going to spread like anything.
So when it becomes a wearable, I am watching you, everybody, and everything on a giant screen.
We could have done this podcast on a metaverse
Yes.
world.
Yeah.
So it's a like multi-user space, different one. So and engagement would
But
be
then,
quite different.
wouldn't you feel this way that if you, where are you from, sir?
Bokaro, Jharkhand.
Bokaro. Let's say you had the privilege of staying in Bokaro, and let's say he is from Mumbai. He's gone back after his semester exams, and I'm here in West Bengal. So wouldn't it, like, what do you think? Would it be better if we come to this campus, physically shooting it together, like, or we sit in our home and enjoying the
See,
podcast?
having a multi, so we are having this multi, like we are together right now. Being together like this in a peer circle or whatever environment, physical environment, being together, there is no substitute to it. But what if, say, for example, right now we three are together. Suppose there was another friend, he's not here, he's in California.
I'll move on to my last rapid fire question, which is if you meet a 60-year-old man who lives in the most rural and secluded place, somewhere in, let's say, Eastern India, how would you explain the current state of digital literacy in India to him in the easiest possible way, that is, without the use of any technical jargons?
We tell them how it was, what happened in 1980s. The history is repeating. So anything happens, basically anything happens with communication and coordination. Even if you are a maid, you are going to झाड़ू पोछा करने जा रही हो, आप पहले माई गेट पे साइन करती हो, फिर जाती हो। तो इंस्टाग्राम रील्स खूब बनाते हैं लोग, कहीं पर भी किसी वॉक्स में कर रहे हैं, तो दे आर ऑलरेडी प्लेइंग विद डिजिटल एसेट्स, राइट? And these are now coming in as a medium of income. Monetizing has happened, so it's not completely that it's something out of the world or they don't understand.
In my opinion, I really think it's situational based. There are definitely 60 aged people who have done really awesome things in their life, who have always been aware of all the new tech news. They have used it. However, when you, like you talked about the eastern part, somewhere I feel that there's lack of awareness. I find it a little bit difficult to actually explain them how things have evolved compared to when it was their childhood. Okay, things have become so much like सब कुछ बदल गया है. That was all I would say.
East is a little bit too poor to change.
It requires.
Or maybe a little more servile. So people are more here, you know.
I
job
might get
oriented.
offended because I'm from West Bengal, which is also East India.
It is.
No,
I
so that's
mean,
what. There are
we
people
cannot,
who know things.
unsee things.
Yeah. Okay. So now we come out of the rapid fire segment and we move on to the last two questions which I have. So I was talking to Manoranjan the other day discussing like how we would go about with the podcast, and he told me something interesting about how he founded his company Sane Observers. Please narrate the story for us, sir. We would love to hear it. And also, followed by that, you can talk about the challenges or like hardships that you had to face in the building, initial building days.
It's a very, very, very long backstage story. It's like it didn't happen in a day. So, I mean, and there were many very, very triggers. I'll Let me start with the first trigger. First trigger was Tech Sparks 2014. I was listening to Nandan sir, Nandan Nilekani. So he was talking about GPS based economies and how, like, the subject was how the economies of the future would be. I mean, after Aadhaar came in, so they structured. So he was narrating the story how Aadhaar was built. Aadhaar came in 1999 in the wake of Kargil. How to distinguish we who are our people. All the dead bodies, they are who are our own dead and who are someone else. So that was the story how Aadhaar came into picture. So that was one of the first inspiration to create startups. You have to onboard people. I have been on this. I have been on this for more than 7 years, but I'm still it's day zero and it's beginning with KGP. Broadly, I couldn't find, like, for most of the times I couldn't find a co-founder. It was that challenging. So many stories that if I put it right down, even one, it will end up like, fragmented
An entire
kinds.
book can be written.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I can somewhere relate to what the journey of Manoranjan. Like it's very, very important to have the right people when
Exactly.
you are on such a journey to begin something new.
And everybody, like, however progress you do, been on this course for 7 years dedicatedly. Even today, there would be people who would be telling me, "You're wasting your time. Find a job. Do something else." I mean, after giving out, I have spent more than probably 3 crores, personal, personal as in whichever way. People would be telling me today, "Don't do this."
That is, I think,
Everybody.
one thing that every startup founder is told.
Yeah.
कि go get a
नहीं
job.
होगा.
नहीं होगा, क्या कर रहे हो?
हाँ.
तुमसे नहीं होगा. अभी तक हुआ नहीं हुआ ना, काहे सर खपा रहे हो?
We completely get it, Manoranjan.
Yes.
So I will now come to like Suraj. Like I would like to ask you that when did you and why did you like decide to start off with KodeinKGP, this society in campus, like what it proposes to achieve, and about any setbacks or like major achievements that the club has pulled off?
I really feel nice to actually share it
Okay.
on this platform. I remember back in when I was in my second semester, I had just identified one problem, which was students were not able to get tedious problem and solutions in hand. Okay, and which was one of the most important thing that one had to learn. I knew web development. Me and my friend just began on a journey to make all the solutions and problems on one platform. We had to name it, so we named it KodeinKGP, something unique and something nice. But yeah, after 1 year, I really wanted to make it big. I wanted to bring a larger vision into what KodeinKGP was. I, along with a team of juniors, revamped the website. Now the next question was, what next? I think I remember in between this journey, just like Manoranjan sir shared the part where people aren't so encouraging and they can't really have the same energy, the same fire within you to take up things at such great heights. I still remember once I did put up the message कि बंद करते हैं, ठीक है. But yes, I think in that time only I had got this wonderful opportunity to host a huge hackathon worth 2 lakh cash prize. That was a major changing point for Coding KGP Society. It was a web development plus blockchain based problem statement. Yeah, from there we delved into blockchain workshops, more of blockchain hackathons, conducting, we recently in the summers conducted 1 month workshop, starting right from basics to, making smart contracts in Solidity. So I think we have come in a long way when it comes to, building products or solutions to problems in the tech field, in the blockchain field. Now I think it's time for metaverse. And
I'll tell you with my
yeah.
experience, like I have a good chance to work with a lot of student groups across India. Uh, One thing I must commend is a terrific. Go to like other colleges, most of the private colleges, they treat like active, fire, active jazz, active trigger to do something that doesn't exist. One of the few campuses here that you have this kind of the bias for action, what we call. So this is terrific out here, and it's very lively out here. I mean, these campuses, especially IITs, people are energetic, people have bias for action, people do something that doesn't exist somewhere else.
When Suraj was talking about his struggles, then uh, things of that sort, I could also relate with this because, like in my college, I was the founder of our college coding club, and I knew this for sure that I had to bring in students from mechanical, electrical, or civil also into the coding field because they inevitably feel that coding is not for them; it's only for CS people, which is very wrong because I've seen students from other departments also doing equally well,
Yeah.
which was my primary objective when I was in the when I was becoming the founder. So that was my idea. Well, this was a fun filled yet information enriched podcast. I had a lovely time hosting
Same
the
here.
both of you. And I manifest to do like an offline podcast really soon again. So if you're watching this, please invite me to host another podcast. Like shoot up a DM. My social media links are all attached. And before I conclude, I would ask both of you to give like a short feedback about how the podcast was, like in one line or so, like about the entire format, like
Most special part, and you're doing a great. I mean, doing this, let me tell you very honestly, doing this in India for India, it's a national service. People are sleeping here, literally sleeping here. We are waking them up. I request everybody, I mean, especially youngsters in college, in school, please mingle, join together, converge together, and do stuff like this.
Definitely. I mean, the way you kept it so casual yet so fun was remarkable. I mean, this is just the first time even I have been to a podcast, and
yeah, I remember
the way
Suraj telling me that this was his first time and he's equally anxious. I was like, कुछ नहीं होगा, मेरा भी first time
exactly,
है.
exactly. इतना comfortable feel किया. Truly, it is all because how enjoying and good going you really kept in with your fun
And to
questions
wrap
in
up,
between.
one note I would still add, because of you all, I'm little elder. I can connect both ways, forward and backward. You are people of members of digital civilization. You have to be media friendly.
Okay. So, thank you, Dhanyavad, goodbye, and hope to see you in yet another video. Until then, if you have any queries, please list them down or your views. We are happy to help. Thank you. Bye.
Download the Sane Observer app, register for Swadeshi Bytes.
Yeah. Just we'll definitely come back again with another podcast with some
Very,
amazing,
very
another
soon.
good founder.
And do follow Coding KGP after you download Sane Observer's app and you subscribe to my channel, like this video.
Let's make it the most active community in India, Code in KGP.